I will visit tomorrow. Heart. Hard. Describe. Heart. Hard describes how they worked. And loudly describes how the dog barked. Here Today, we're covering some of the essential etiquette tips for physical presence in American culture. These simple guidelines can help you feel more comfortable and confident in social or professional settings. Let's dive into three big ones: personal space, eye contact, and volume control. Mastering these can make a huge difference in how smoothly interactions go. First, let's talk about personal space. In the US, people generally like to keep a bit of distance when talking. Standing about an arm's length apart is typical. For example, if you're in line at the store or talking with someone you just met, give them some space to feel comfortable. Americans usually only touch close family or friends in casual settings, so save handshakes for professional situations unless the person indicates something more. Making eye contact. Next up, eye contacts. In American culture, making eye contact is a sign of confidence and respect. When talking with someone, making regular eye contact shows that you're paying attention and interested in what they're saying. But remember, there's no need to stare. Just make natural eye contact and look away briefly. This helps show respect without making the other person feel uncomfortable. Volume control. Lastly, let's look at volume control. Americans generally prefer a moderate speaking volume in public spaces. It's okay to be enthusiastic, but speaking too loudly can be seen as disruptive. In quieter places like libraries or public transport, keep your voice low. In social gatherings or outdoor spaces, feel free to speak more naturally. Just remember, reading the room can make a big difference. And there you have it. By keeping in mind personal space, eye contact, and volume control, you can make interactions smoother and more comfortable for everyone. There are small adjustments that make a big impact. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more helpful tips. Hey there! Have you ever had that awkward moment when you met someone new and you're not sure what to say? You want to make a great first impression, but thinking, how do I introduce myself in English? Well, today we're going to tackle that head on. Whether you're at a party, in class, or meeting someone for the first time, knowing how to introduce yourself with confidence is a powerful skill. And by the end of this lesson, you'll be ready to introduce yourself like a pro. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. When you introduce yourself, you can keep it simple. You can say, "Hi, I'm Bob. It's great to meet you." Or, "Hello, my name is Sam." That's it. Easy, right? But it doesn't stop there. You can add more. Let's make it interesting by adding a little personal detail. For example, Hi, my name is Mark, or I'm Mark, and I'm from the UK, or I'm from Germany, or hi, I'm Alex, and I love reading books. Adding a small detail can make your introduction more memorable. After you introduce yourself, it's polite to ask the other person's name. You can say, "What's your name?" Or, a little more formally, "May I ask your name?" Don't forget to listen carefully. If you didn't catch their name the first time, don't worry. You can say, "I'm sorry, could you repeat your name, please?" This shows that you're interested in conversation and ready to connect. Now that you've introduced yourself, you know their name. Let's keep the conversation going. You don't want the conversation to end there, right? You could ask a simple question like, "Where are you from?" or "What do you do?" These are great ways to get to know someone better. Or you can try something more personal like, "What do you like to do in your free time?" This opens up the conversation to hobbies and interests, which makes it way more fun. Here's where it gets exciting. You can add your own personality to your introduction. Instead of saying, "Hi, I'm John," try adding some flair. For example, "Hey there, I'm John, and I'm a huge fan of soccer." Or, "Hi, I'm Jason, and I just moved here." Sharing a bit of your story makes you more relatable. And it's not just about the words. You can show your personality with your tone of voice. Speak confidently and with energy. People will remember how you make them feel. So make your introduction positive and lively. To wrap things up, don't forget to close your introduction in a friendly way. You could say, "It was great to meet you," or "Nice meeting you. Hope to see you around." These little phrases leave a positive impression and help the conversation flow naturally. So now, next time you meet someone new, you'll be ready with a smooth introduction. Remember, practice makes perfect. So get out there and introduce yourself. Thanks for watching, and now you're ready to introduce yourself in English with confidence. Try practicing with friends or in front of a mirror. It'll help you feel more comfortable. Remember, every conversation starts with a simple hello. Keep practicing, and you'll make great connections with people from all over the world. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more learning opportunities. Let's keep learning together, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Welcome, language adventurers! Today we're diving into the world of English tenses. My favorite least thing. Your passport to mastering the flow of time and language. Imagine being able to whisk someone back to a memory, paint a vivid picture of the present, or make bold predictions about the future, all with just a few chosen words. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to wield the power of English tenses like a true time traveler, from the rock-solid present simple to the adventurous future tense. Stick with me, and by the end of this session, you'll have the tools to make every sentence you speak a journey worth taking. But before we jump on in, if you're as excited as I am about unlocking these language secrets, be sure to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow language learners, and subscribe to my channel for more epic lessons. Let's get ourselves started. So imagine if you can travel through time. Not with a machine, but with your words. That's exactly what mastering English tenses allows you to do. With the right tense, you can instantly transport yourself and your listener to a memory, a future ambition, or the steady rhythm of daily life. Today, we're not just exploring grammar, we're unraveling the mysteries of time travel in English. Prepare to wield the power of tenses like never before. So, the present simple tense is about all the routines, and truths that shape who you are. Think of it as the beat that keeps your life moving, the pulse of daily habits and undeniable facts. The tense is powerful because it doesn't just tell what you do, it reveals what defines you. So, for example, I go to the gym every week. It's not just about the gym, it's about your commitment, your discipline, and what makes you you. This tense can be used to describe facts too. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, grounding us in what we know to be true. The real magic of the present simple is that it ties you to the constant parts of your world. Words like always, often, and never, you can convey how frequently something occurs, anchoring your listener to your reality. Here's the catch. Common trip up here is forgetting the S for he, she, or it. Think of it like this. Subjects, the S is a seal of authenticity. Missing it like an X. She walked to work versus she walks to work can weaken your sentence's impact. The little s is your way of showing you know the rules of the present simple. Rules that tell the world you're in command of your language. So, with the past simple, you're no longer in the present. You're telling a story from another time. So, crafting moments from the past. So, you have the ability to breathe life into memories, painting the pictures of what has come and gone. It's the tense for sharing experiences and moments that linger, even though they've passed. For example, I went to the beach last weekend. Instantly, you're on the sandy shore, reliving the sun on your face. The past simple is straightforward, but filled with weight, because each verb choice is a glimpse into what you've lived through. This tense thrives on specific details that anchor the action in a particular time, with words like yesterday, last month, or in 2010. Your listener is transported to that exact moment with you. Here's the catch, guys. Using the base form in place of the past form is like starting a story, but leaving out the most important detail. I go to the beach last weekend. I went to the beach last weekend would be the correct, right? The past simple's power lies in the specific verb forms that hint at history. Don't just recount, relive. Present perfect, the connection across time. The present perfect is the storyteller's bridge, spanning the past and linking it to the now. It's for experiences that might not have a defined date, but they resonate in the present. Think of this tense as your way of sharing not what you just did, but how those experiences shape who you are right now. So, for example, I have visited France. The exact time doesn't matter. What matters is that visiting France is now a part of you. This tense is perfect for showing growth and change, like I have learned so much, or they have transformed their lives. The present perfect shines when paired with words like already, yet, just, and ever. Words that signal something important have happened, even if we don't know precisely when. Here's the catch, guys. Many mix up the present perfect and the past simple, but the distinction is crucial. I visited France versus I have visited France. The past simple suggests that France is just a past chapter, but the present perfect implies that it's a story being told. The past perfect unearthing layers of the past. The past perfect is like a flashback. It lets you peel back the layers of a story, revealing what happened before the main events. The tense is for when you're not just talking about the past, but you're exploring the moments that led up to other moments. Here's an example. I had finished my book before the movie started. Now, it's not just about the book, it's about the preparation, the anticipation of completing one thing before diving into another. Using the past perfect creates depth, making your story richer and more intricate. It often pairs with the past simple, setting up one action and then pulling back to show what came before. Here's the catch. Without the past perfect, you risk losing the sequence. I finished my book before the movie started. I had finished my book before the movie started. Alright? The past perfect fills in those behind the scene moments and the context that makes your story complete. Alright. The future simple, the bold step forward. When you speak in the future simple, you're not just stating a fact, you're making a declaration, a commitment, a prophecy of what is to come. This is the tense for dreams, ambitions, for things that haven't happened yet, but feel as real as they are already here. I will travel the world. It's a bold statement, full of hope and determination. The future simple doesn't need specifics. It thrives on the promise of what's next. This tense is your compass, pointing you towards possibilities that lie ahead. So, it's about the intent, about what you're planning or hoping to do, and sometimes what you're ready to take on. Here is the catch. Without will, the future loses its certainty. I travel the world. Okay, I travel the world. I will travel the world. Will is more than a helpful verb. It's a way of locking it in, locking in your vision, giving your plans the power they deserve. Finally, let's talk about pitfalls and how to steer clear from them. Go versus went. Think of go as your companion in the present and went as the record of your past journeys. Saying go when you mean went is like telling someone you're still on a trip that's already over. So for example, I go to the store versus I went to the store yesterday. Went anchors to the past, letting others see exactly where you've been. Have, has, and had. These are your markers of time. Have and has tie the past to now, while had pulls you deeper into history. Using have instead of had can change the entire meaning of your sentence. Alright? So, I have seen wonders implies these wonders are still a part of you. I had seen wonders before, but now I see more. Each choice changes the color of your story. The did debate, okay? Did is your questioning tool, not your storytelling companion. It belongs in questions and negatives, not in your affirmations. I did went to the store. No, never say that, please. For the love of God, don't say it. I went to the store. Keep did where it belongs, helping you ask or deny, and let your main verbs carry the weight of the story. Well, you did it, guys. You've unlocked the secrets of the English tenses and taken a step closer to fluency. Now, whether you're recounting your past adventures, sharing plans for tomorrow, or describing your daily routines, you've got the skills to do it all with confidence and style. Remember, mastering tenses isn't just about following rules, it's about telling your story, your way. So go out there and make each moment count with the power of language. If you've found this lesson helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who's on the English learning journey like yourself. And of course, subscribe to the channel. You'll never miss out on powerful tips and tricks. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye. Hi guys, I will read Ice Cream Scooper Sam. You will read Flavor Fan Jordan. Are you ready? Let's begin. Hey Jordan, welcome back to Scooper Sam's. What flavor are you curious about today? You're in luck, we have both. Which one sounds more exciting? Excellent choice! Now, do you want to add any crazy toppings? We've got rainbow sprinkles, chocolate chips, and even gummy bears. Coming right up, how about some whipped cream to go on top, to top it off? You bet! Here's your super duper bubblegum cone with all the toppings. Enjoy! So do you think you'll try the new flavor next time? I knew you'd love that. You're always up for something new. That sounds awesome! I'll have the scoops ready. Good job, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Hey gamers, are you ready to talk about your favorite video games in English? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'll teach you how to say cool things about games. So next time you're playing a video game, you can share in English. Let's get started. Say what you're playing. When you want to tell someone what game you're playing, you can say, I'm playing Minecraft, or I'm playing Among Us, or I'm playing blah, 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 blah. And if you want to ask someone what they're playing, you can say, what game are you playing? What game are you playing? You can use this to ask a friend about their game. And if they say something like, I'm playing Fortnite, you can say, cool, nice, awesome. All right, let's talk about game actions. Dun, dun, dun. Now, here are some phrases to talk about what's happening in your game. First, you can say, I leveled up. That means you reached a new level in the game. It's exciting, right? Or there's a big enemy in the game. You can say, watch out for the boss. The boss is the big enemy you have to beat to win. And if you're almost out of lives, you can say, I need more lives. It means you need an extra chance to keep playing. Now, if we're going to describe the game, like talk about it, what is it like? Here's how you can describe the game you're playing. If you like the game, you can simply say, the game is fun. Or if you think the game is really difficult, you can say, it's hard. So if the game is really difficult, you can say, it's hard to play. And if you're doing really well, you can say, I'm winning. And feel great about it. Like, I'm doing awesome. I'm getting all the bosses beat. And let's go ahead and practice, okay? So I'm going to say something, and then you're going to answer the question. Are you guys ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's pretend we're playing a game together. I'll ask you some questions, and you can answer. Are you ready? What game are you playing? Okay. Did you level up? Awesome! Leveling up is the best! How is the game going? How's the game going? Is it fun? Or is it hard? Or is it easy? You gamers are amazing. Great job, guys. Great job, gamers. Now, you know how to talk about video games in English. So, next time you're playing, try these phrases with your friends. Keep practicing, and you'll sound like a pro. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video, and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, today we're diving into something you could use right away. How to order food in English. Picture this. You're at a restaurant, you're hungry, but you have no idea what to say. Well, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do. Let's go. First, greet the staff. You can say, hi, hello, or good evening. If it's later in the day, it just depends. If they ask, how many people, you can answer with, a table for two, please. Or just one, thank you. You can also get specific about where you want to sit. Could we sit by a window, or is there a quieter table available? Maybe it's really crowded in the front, and you're hoping that something in the back will be available. So remember to say please and thank you. It's simple, but it makes a big difference. When you're ordering food, make it clear and ask questions. Alright? So, now let's talk about ordering, okay? Here are some ways that you can order. I'll have the blah blah blah. So for example, I'll have the grilled chicken, please. Or, can I try the blah blah blah? Can I try the chicken tacos? If you want to know more about the food, just ask, what do you recommend? Or if you need suggestions. So you ask the waiter, what do you recommend? What's your special? Blah blah blah. Is it spicy? If you're not a spicy fan, you want to ask questions and get clear answers. So if you want to avoid spicy food, you can say, is it spicy? And then when you need to make changes, use these phrases. Like, could you add blah, blah, blah? Like, could you add extra cheese? Or can I get this without blah, blah, blah? So for things that you don't want, you can say, can I get this without onions? All right. And if you want to check on how big a dish is, try this. So how big is the portion? Is it enough for one person? Or can I split it? The waiter or waitress will be able to answer that more than likely. So these phrases will help you customize your meal. So don't be afraid to ask questions. All right, and finishing up, right, guys? Finishing up your meal, asking for the check before you leave, right? So when you're ready to leave, you'll need to ask for the check. Here are some ways to do it. Could we get the check, please? Could we get the check? Or could I have the bill when you're ready? And some other useful ways that you can ask is, oh, is service included? To know if the tip is already part of the bill. Or do you take credit cards if you're unsure about payment options? So before you go, you can thank the staff by saying, thank you, the meal was great, or just a simple thanks a lot. So there are many things you can do in a restaurant when you're ordering, before you order, as you order, and when you're leaving, or when you're asking for the check, or checking on something. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap, okay? So first, greet the staff when you enter. Ask for a table. Order your food. Remember to ask questions if you need to. And finish by asking for the check. Now you're ready to order food like a pro. If this video helped you, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And if you've got any other situations you want to try to get help with, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. I want to help. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye. So, if you're asking, if you're looking, guys, okay, you might say, how do I get to the museum? Okay, how do I get to the museum? So you're asking for directions to a specific place. Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left. It's next to the library. You're giving clear directions where a location is, okay? Where is the main entrance? You're asking for location details, okay? Asking for location details. Any questions so far, guys? Zyrathrone still here. RTL still here. Joke Ari still here. I don't think Corzon's gonna have questions about this. Can you tell me how to get to the park? It's a direct question. Head down the street, turn right at the stop sign. You'll see the park on your left. So if someone gives you directions, it's always helpful to repeat them back to make sure you understand. So try asking, so I go straight and then turn left to confirm. So usually repeating the person's direction will help clarify your understanding, okay? So if you're asking, if you're getting directions from somebody, it's always good to repeat the directions given to you to add clarity to what you understand, okay? So, again, so you repeat back. So you can say, oh, okay, can you tell me how to get to the park? Head down the street, head down this street, turn right at the stop sign, you'll see the park on your left. So you'll see something like, oh, so I head down and then turn right, the stop sign, and the park will be on my left. And then they'll pretty much confirm yes, it will be. Okay. Zyrodrome is typing, so I can slow down a bit, wait for her question. Otherwise, I'll move on to the next one. If you keep it simple and don't add a lot of detail, it can be easy. Um, I mean, that's a little more specific in your example, Zyrodrome. Like, for example, if you're trying to give advice or a recommendation, you can still use the same terminology. All right, good night, Mr. Teacher Corzon. Thank you. So, like, if you're Zyrothorn, if you want to come up and listen and talk, you're welcome to. By the way, I know if you want to, I'll send you an invite. I know you can't request, but I will give you that invite. Why can't I invite you? Oh, there you go. If you want to come up, that is. It's up to you. But yeah, I had a good question, but I think if you think too much about it, then um, it won't, it would be more confusing if you think too much about it.
Hi, Teacher Grant. How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. So you make a good point, and I guess you're getting like a premium stage class now because there's only two people here. But I mean, like, you make a good point when it comes to giving directions. If you're giving a recommendation or your advice, use the same terminology. If they're asking for a good restaurant and you're, I don't know, in the middle of the quad or the main area, the Coliseum or whatever, you can say, oh, if you go to blah, 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 if you go down to the corner and you'll see a coffee shop across the street. Give them a landmark that you want them to go to, so you know. So from that landmark, for example, let's say there's a really good, I don't know, a really good Indian restaurant. I'm just making it up, and the coffee shop is like your landmark. If you go across the street, you'll see a Starbucks. Keep going straight until you reach the end of the road, then turn left, and the restaurant will be on that street or whatever. So you just have to tweak your advice a bit. You have to tweak your phrasing a bit if you're giving the advice route, but you still can use the same strategy. You can still use the same strategy. So
Well, that's quite helpful, actually. And I'm sorry, I was shy to come up on the stage because my network is always ditching me for some reason. I've moved to the new place and the network is not really great here. So
oh,
that's why
I
I
hear
was
you.
just
You're clear as a whistle. You're very, very clear. Um, so there's no issues with your.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's the problem. Sometimes it works so well, and sometimes it just it's so bad. But I think the things that you explain are so helpful. Sometimes what happens is we use kilometers. And there are some travelers, some
Oh.
people who are like, who are coming from different countries. They don't understand the distance, kilometers or something.
So
So it's really difficult to explain them.
Um, uh, to be honest, you don't need to say. I mean, in the states or in your country, they don't need to say, "Oh, it's so many kilometers away, or meters away, or feet away, or inches away, whatever, or miles away." Unless, I mean, I'm talking more so like if they're walking around, right? If they're walking around, because you're not going to tell somebody to walk. I don't know, 10 kilometers away. Um, I mean, and it's up to to be honest, just as I joke with you guys sometimes, or kind of give you guys a hard time, you do not need to hold their hand. Okay, if they're a traveler in another country and they know it's going to be kilometers, Everyone has a freaking cell phone, right? Everyone has a smartphone. It doesn't take 2 seconds to convert it. If you say, oh, it's 6 kilometers, convert it. The person should be well versed to convert it. Okay, like they should be. I mean, especially if they're in a new country. Like it's a given. Like I hate to say the phrase. My father hates when I say this, but it's common sense. So when you're giving directions, oh, it's about 2 kilometers away. I don't know what 2 kilometers is in miles. I have an idea because I've learned like to give it. I think 1 mile is about 3 kilometers, give or take, I believe. I might be wrong. I'd have to look it up again. So I'll know which is under a mile, right? Um, but like I said, don't.
Yeah, sometimes it gets really confusing because when they are specifically asking about the gas station or a nice hotel to stay, but yeah, you're right. I mean, we don't need to hold their hands, and they have the technology to convert kilometers to miles or whatever system they use. So you're right. I will try that next time.
Yeah, and again, now use your best judgment. I mean, I don't want to say like look at their physicality. Like if the person looks really overweight and they're walking around, maybe you might not suggest them to walk. Maybe oh, you could take the bus and just go 3 stops and you'll be at the place. I mean, I'm just making an assumption, like, but like use your best judgment if they're walking distance, and usually the John Doe or the Jane Doe is going to be supposedly walking distance, you know, or maybe not. Maybe they are from a different hotel, or maybe they've just arrived into the main area of that country or that city. Sorry, I shouldn't say that city. And then if you think that there's a better place, like if you're in area A and you think area D is going to be a better place for them, or you've been there before, because oh, area D is very beautiful. It has a lot of places you can go to. This is a really great hotel. Um, you can either take the bus and it will take about 40. Usually give them a time limit. You don't really have to say how long it is. Oh, it's about a 30-minute bus ride, and you go 5 stops, or whatever, or you get off at this stop, so you give that kind of detail that way. So that's my 2 cents. Like if you're the country that person's in, and the area that the person is asking to go to or asking your recommendation, just give them your 2 cents. If it's a restaurant, obviously, unless you really think the restaurant's too good to be true, you're not gonna want to send them 30 minutes away. As an example, right? If they've just arrived and you're having a conversation, oh yeah, I just arrived. Where would you recommend I go? That lead-in can give you kind of like a, what do you call it? Like a, not. I'm trying to think of the right word. If someone says they just arrived and they want a recommendation on where to go, that can give you the ticket to tell them to go to area D when they're in area A. And that might send them on a bus route or a taxi route or whatever. But if they're like in an area that's very populated and there's a lot of restaurants, and you know area A very well, you can say, oh, there's a restaurant. It's about 5 minutes away. You're not far. Just walk down this area and you'll find it. That's, again, it's to your own discretion on how you're going to convey that. So, yeah. So the idea of this lesson, and this will be uploaded for others to watch, is just to kind of give them practical examples of what they might say. The next slide I have is about ordering food without feeling awkward. And this is more like your situation. So if you're ever in a country that speaks English and you want to convey easily, you can start off by saying, I'd like this, or can I get this? And it's a polite and clear way. If you want to talk about flavors or preferences, like if you want it spicy or sweet or salty or sour, you can describe, like maybe you're getting a bucket of chicken or whatever. and they have a sauce on it, or maybe it's a soup and they make it spicy or they make it non-spicy. So you can add those preferences in it. So, I want a chicken sandwich. I want it spicy, you know, or I want the chicken.
Yeah.
I want the sauce on this order to be sweet. I want the sweet and sour sauce. Um, if you're in the States or the UK or Australia, you're usually going to see the kind of sauces that you want, right? If you know ideally what kind of flavor you want, you can tell them. Maybe they don't have sweet named, but I want a sweet sauce. And they'll say, I recommend this sauce. And you might say, sure. If you're ordering, I'd like a chicken sandwich, please. Can I get a large coffee to go? It's if you're requesting a takeout. So they ask you for a preference. You can say, I love sweet desserts. And the person at the counter will probably recommend something. You should try this ABC food. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got it. What about you? What challenges did you face when you moved to a country where nobody speaks English? I guess you are in Vietnam or Philippines, I'm not sure.
I'm in Vietnam,
But what?
but I lived in China for 8 years, and that's a good question. To be honest, I had a translation app. I would take a picture, I'd highlight it, I'd translate, and I would just show them a picture of what I want. And that's pretty much, and it didn't take much, it didn't take 2 seconds for them to see what I wanted. Or, for example, I might know some foods, right? Like I might know some names of some dishes, right? And I might know some. I knew some key foods, right? Like if I wanted to have pork, a pork steamed stuffed bun. Those are popular in China. They call them balsa. Balsa. I know I'm probably spelling it wrong, but like that. So I go, 猪肉 balsa, and they understand, or noodle, or tiro, right? Uh, or shrimp. Sometimes they have shrimp. Yeah. So, um, you know some Chinese? Is that wrong?
Yes, I know a little bit Chinese. I know a couple of dishes like shui jiao, which is dumplings,
Oh
and
no, jiaozi. Isn't that
yeah.
jiaozi? Jiaozi, right? Anyways, yeah, dumplings.
I
But
I can yeah, I can recognize a couple of beginner level words
yeah, the
in
same.
Mandarin, but I'm not so fluent.
Yeah, so as am I. I'm not fluent at all. They go, but you lived in China for 8 years. Anyways, that's besides the point. But for me, like
I
I became like a. It's funny because for 2 years I didn't know how to count, and my friend's like, you should at least know your numbers. So I don't know how to explain it. And this is maybe something that just comes to your mind if you put your focus on it. I started to remember my numbers within like 2 days of just like in my head. I just got 一二三四五六七八九十十一十一二十
十一十二
no no
十
no no. I'm
三
talking about like
yeah.
numbers like 十二十三十 no 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 八十 you know, I remembered how to count to 100, right? So 八十五 would be 81, right? Because the way, again, if you count in English, it's really easy. If you know 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, all you need to know is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After you know, you're counting by tens. So if you know, so if it's 5, 5, you know it's 55. So 55, right? 十十二十三十五3040501二三四五六60708090 you know, etc. So if you can just think of simple things and you just kind of put your mind to it, you'll end up memorizing it instantly. So anyways, back to the food thing. Again, varies. You can take these as you want, and you can tweak them the way you want. If you're talking about your dislikes or likes, oh, I'm not a fan of salty snacks. Other phrases might be useful. Is what do you recommend? Can I get this without onions? If you're asking for a special circumstance, I'll take the same as her. And maybe you're in a party of four. Oh, I'm gonna have what she has as well. Can I get a glass of water? So again, tweak them as you want. These are phrases that are easy to use, simple, explaining exactly what you want. So is hey Jenna, you still here? Oh, I see now. I see more people now. Aim and Kai. Is it Kai? And DK Tozen. Okay, awesome. So the last one I have. Oh, actually, that was the last one. All right, so we talked about shopping, talked about travel, talked about directions and food. These are these aren't the only areas. These are just things I put together. So asking for prices, finding your way, ordering a meal. These are phrases that are going to help you. Now, what I like to do is talk a little bit about another FAQ session that I think are these questions are asked, and I will try my best to give my own 2 cents. And again, I have good news. I am recording this, so you guys will be able to see this and see my notes as I'm giving the class. So, how can I stop translating in my head and start thinking in English? So, to think in English, start by using English for simple thoughts, everyday situations. If you see a tree, just think tree instead of translating. Even if it's just in your head, you can say, I'm getting coffee. It's sunny today. Another way to use English to English dictionaries, instead of translating a word, look up its definition in English to get used to thinking directly in English. At the store, think, I need milk, eggs, bread, instead of translating. If you're planning your day, mentally saying, I'll finish my work and then go to the gym. So in your mind, you can think in English. You don't have to necessarily say it out loud. So anything, and Zyrothon, you have a very grasp of English as it is. I don't necessarily know if this is something you struggle with. Do you find yourself cheating and speaking in your native, not speaking, but thinking in your native language? Do you find yourself cheating sometimes and going, wait, oh, and then if you mentally think in English, then, oh, speak, Zyrothon, speak. You're on stage, right? Yeah, I'm asking you.
Well, I don't necessarily think in my native all the time, and most of the time I'm actually thinking in English. That's why I'm really prompt in replying whenever somebody asks me a question.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me. It comes naturally to me.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, most of the times when even if I always suggest people whenever, although I'm not an expert in English speaking or maybe grammar or linguistics, but whenever somebody asks me about how to think in English, I just suggest them one thing that start even if you don't have anybody to speak to in English language, just start speaking to yourself. Start translating, translating things around you, like a table or a chair or anything that you see around you. Just start translating those things in your mind and start speaking to yourself in English.
Exactly. Yeah. So for yourself, you don't necessarily cheat. You don't. I'm not trying to sound modest for you. Is that you don't necessarily need this tip per se. It's. I mean, you can be blunt and say, I already do this, and it's fine because again, you're at the level that you don't need to hear that repetition. But you don't cheat, and you're in your native tongue. You're always thinking in English. And of course, maybe there's an exception if you're with family that doesn't speak English. Then of course you're not going to think in English. You're going to just naturally speak your native tongue. So. But again, for those advice, if you want to give your friends, that is something that you can advise them of. It doesn't. They don't necessarily need to say out loud, "I need eggs, milk, and bread." Like they just need to mentally think it in their mind. if they can think it, then it's already going to be premeditated in their minds. Like, if you think in English, then you're going to eventually have that trigger where you're going to speak English, right? So yeah, but that's a question I think I hear a lot. And it's hard because I don't know. I'm not a non-native speaker. I'm not a non-native English person. Like, I don't know the common questions that are asked, because I only can research online going, what are the most common questions asked by ESL speaker or learners, whatever. So I only can go based on that, and then I can look at their suggestions and kind of give my own take on it. Another one I get asked a lot, and maybe you've said this or you've thought this. What's the best way to practice listening to different accents? So, as it's been mentioned by all the teachers, many accents: American, British, Australian, and a whole lot more, right? They have their own sounds, their own slang, their own rhythm. And I guess in a matter of speaking, understanding them can be tricky. So, but if you're exposing yourself to multiple accents, then you'll expose yourself to understanding English more naturally. So it will help you prepare. If you go to the States, you realize that there are probably like over 100 types of accents. you know, it's amazing. If you want to like be more diverse, you can watch BBC News. You can watch Australian YouTubers. You can watch reality shows. NPRs. Again, like I said, it just depends how diverse you want to be. That's kind of where I am here. If you want to add to it, you can. Okay, here's another one. Grammar. How can I improve my English grammar without memorizing complicated rules? So, it is essential, but memorizing rules can feel overwhelming and boring. So the key is just to have it in context and through usage, not drilling rules. Using grammar naturally, you'll start to understand that you don't need to remember every rule. So instead of focusing on rules, I can't speak, guys. Try reading short stories, articles, social media posts. Pay attention to how sentences are formed. Now, you go to social media post, you'll see. Uh-oh. Oh, are you still here?
I
Oh.
guess
Oh.
my network is not really working great.
Oh. Sorry if you were speaking. I hear you now.
Yeah.
Um, so, boy, you guys are getting like an exclusive class. Jen has been here for a good time. I just said hi. That was it. And what's really cool is I have this recorded, so I'm too lazy to edit it, so it's just gonna be edited. Just upload it. What do you call it? Upload it dry. What do you call something what's the slang to say that you're gonna upload something without editing it? There's a slang for it. I can't think of it. So, short and sweet. Did you hear what I was saying about the grammar rules? Like, honestly, don't focus on them. And it's like saying it lightly. Like, don't focus on them. Social media posts, short stories, articles. Pay attention to how they're formed, patterns, apps, Grammarly. I can't tell you how often I just use Grammarly. Like, use Grammarly. They'll guide you. You can tweak it the way you want. But Grammarly is a good app. They have a free version. I think it pretty much does everything a normal person needs. The only reason why someone might need Pro is I don't know why would they need Pro. Maybe it gives more concise information. But write about your day in a journal. Focus on using complete sentences if you want to practice your grammar. Read English blogs, news articles. Notice the sentence structures are used. Use Grammarly while you write to catch grammar mistakes. It helps you internalize grammar naturally, so you start to understand it as you go. And I got two more questions here. How can I stop mixing up English tenses when I speak? So it's more about practicing. Okay, use time markers, yesterday or next week, to match the right tense. Yesterday I went to the store. Tomorrow I will go to the store. Record yourself describing a past experience, a present routine, and a future plan, focusing on the correct tense usage. I can't tell you how often I hear mistakes made when it comes to speaking or in the past, in the present, in the future. Now, I kind of get immune to it. Like, I don't pay much attention, but I do from time to time. Especially if a person in the English hub is. Oh, do you want back up? Is that what it's on? I'll bring it back up. Oh no, she left. Okay. Okay, so guys, how to stop mixing up English tenses is basically, if you're translating, guys, it's not gonna work. To avoid confusion, focus on mastering the basics first: present, past, future. Practice each one separately and build an understanding of how they're used in different situations. One effective way is time markers: yesterday, tomorrow, or now. So in your sentence, remind yourself which tense you're working with. So watching short videos where native speakers use the tense in context can reinforce your understanding. Create a 3-sentence story: one sentence in the past, one sentence in the present, and one in the future to connect all three. These are strategies that will help you become more comfortable with tenses, so you're likely to mix them up. And finally, how can I learn English slang without sounding forced? Okay? Slang can make you sound more fluent, but it's easy to overuse it or use it incorrectly. Sound naturally, start by observing how native speakers use slang in casual conversations. I'm going to go to some practical tips. Start with a few versatile slang words like cool, no problem, and use them in everyday sentences. Watch movies or YouTube channels that showcase casual conversation English to hear slang in action. Practice by saying phrases like "that's awesome," "sounds good," in response to everyday situations. So these are going to be methods that will help you adopt slang in a way that feels authentic and natural over time. All right. So for those who just got here, for Zoom, for Spira, for Nafi, for Whoosh, I do have a video I'm going to upload right now, and it will give you the full lecture that you missed today. So I'm going to show you guys really quick what I'm going to do. So we'll finish our lecture here. All right. So, and when you watch this video, give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. All right. Guys, that's the end of our lecture. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment in the video below, and I hope to see you guys next time. Mastering commonly confused word pairs in English. So today we're going to tackle some of the most confusing word pairs in English. So you know these words like do and make, say and tell, and a few others, right? So there are many pairs that are confusing, right? So they might trip you up, but stick with me, guys. I'm going to talk about them and show you, well, not show you the words, but tell you the words, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to jump on in with the first pair, okay? The first pair is do and make. So task, creations, and offers. So we're going to kick things off with do and make. So we use do for task and responsibilities like work or chores, okay? Think of I do the laundry or she does her homework, right? But make is for creating or producing something. So something that usually has a result like I make dinner, he made a new friend, okay? So is that simple, right? So here's what it might look like in real life. So write this down, guys. I did all my errands this morning. So that's a task, okay? I did all my errands this morning. Not I make, right? Or made. She made a playlist for the party. Creation, right? Can you do the dishes tonight. Sure. Do something. I'll make breakfast tomorrow. Creating a meal to make, right? So I did all my errands this morning, which is a task. She made a playlist for the party. Creation. Can you do the dishes tonight? A chore. Do. I'll make breakfast tomorrow. Creating a meal. So do is for actions and tasks, and make is for creating or producing things. So remember this and you'll be good to go, guys. Okay? So do. You can say that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong. I mean, pardon and excuse me are kind of, they're very similar. You can use either or in my opinion. Pardon me, excuse me, because you're trying to interrupt a conversation. I suppose, Zyrothon, you can say, I ran all the errands this morning. I ran all my errands this morning. Again, it just depends on the context and who you're talking with. I'm not a grammar neat freak or anything. If I heard you say that, I probably wouldn't think too much. But you can just say, I did all my errands this morning. That's fine. I did all my errands this morning. Or I need to run a bunch of errands today. I ran all my errands today. Or I ran all my errands today. Yeah, the more I say it out loud, the more right it sounds. There's nothing wrong with saying that. So you can also say it. But again, the idea is that's a great way to say it, but like what I'm trying to convey is the do and make. A lot of people misconcept those two words. So the idea is to say do and make. We cannot say I made all my chores this morning, right? So yes, that is correct. But again, it's talking about do and make, which one is formally right, the right way to go. Okay, so oh, and guys, by the way, I might have a little bit of a mistake when I'm recording this lesson. You might see some words cut off because I'm not paying attention, but I'll do my best to not cover anything up. The next slide, guys, and I know you guys can't see it. I'm not live at all, but I am recording this. Say and tell. Say and tell. Okay? Say and tell. That is a very common thing. Can you guys give me an example on when you would use say and tell? Say and tell. Yeah. I appreciate you writing those pairs out, Zyrothron. Thank you. So say and tell is another common one, right? So, oh boy. 1 second, guys. I made a mistake in my notes here. You gotta get this in the recording because I'm too lazy to fix that. So give me a second. Let me look at my notes for say and tell. So forgive me, guys. Do and make. Oh, I have it here. Hold on. But for some reason... Oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay. What is going on? So... Oh my gosh. Okay, this is really bad. Give me a second, guys. Let me do a quick fix here. I copied the wrong notes to the wrong slide, so when I'm looking at my notes, I have the wrong I don't know why. This one's say and tell. Okay, guys. So say and tell, these are words that are about talking, but they're not the same. Say is generally more about you don't have to say who you're speaking to, just the words. So he said he was tired, but with tell, you're telling someone specific, like he told me he was tired. Okay, think of it this way: if you're directing your words to a person, use tell. So, for example, she said it's going to rain. Okay, she said it's going to rain. She said it's going to rain. Oh boy, I hope. Yes, okay. So it was only a mistake here. All right, she said it was going to rain, okay? She told, so that's a general statement. She told us it's going to rain, directed at a specific person. He said something funny. No specific person needed, okay? He told me a joke, someone specific. So you say for a general statement and tell when you're speaking to someone specific, all right? Does that make sense? Yes, that's correct. Yes, say something. Did you say a bad word because you're talking about someone specific? Yes. Did you say yes, that would be correct. Yes, correct. He fell, Zach said. Sure. Zach said he fell. It's like but your thing is, Muhammad, is you're just like writing it as if it's a story. We're talking about when we're speaking about something. We don't say he fell, Zach said. No one would ever speak that. In a story, in a book, you might see it that way. Except you would have to have a capital there. But I think you're getting, say something, tell someone, yeah, Chili's, yeah. I want to tell you something. He said something. Let me look at my notes again. So, I want to make sure I have all my pairs correct. Okay. Yeah, I got all my pairs correct. Okay. So guys, when you rewatch this video, just fast forward to the part with me going crazy, okay? Any questions on say and tell? Alright, so so far we've done do and make. Alright. Do is for actions, make is for creating and producing things, right? Say and tell. Say for general statements, tell when you're speaking to someone specific, okay? All right. Now, go and come, okay? Go and come. These depend on where the speaker is. Use go when talking about moving away from something. All right. Yes, I would go and come. So, these depend really on. Okay. So, use go when you're talking about moving away from where you are right now, okay? Like, I'll go to the gym later, but come is for moving towards the speaker or listener, like come over after work. The choice depends on your position. If you're moving closer, use come. If you're moving away, use go. So for example, let's go to the beach this weekend. Moving away from the current location. Can you come to my place later? Moving toward the speaker. I'll go home after this. Moving away. Will you come here for a bit? Moving towards the speaker. All right? So go is away, come is towards. Keep the location in mind and you'll nail it. So does that make sense, guys? All right? I like how Zytothrone is like taking notes for you guys. That's really awesome. All right. So any questions, guys, on using come and go? All right. So one more time. Go is away, come is towards. Keep the location in mind and you'll get it. You won't have any issues. All right. So again, we have do and make, say and tell, come and go, or go and come. And then borrow and lend. Okay, this is one I see as a mistake all the time. Borrow and lend. Borrow and lend. Okay, borrow and lend. All right, let's talk about it. So these words both mean that you're letting someone use something for a while, but it depends on who's doing the action. If you're taking something, use borrow, okay? Like, can I borrow your pen? But if you're giving something, use lend. Like, I'll lend you my pen. So it's all about perspective, right? I borrowed a book from the library, taking. I can lend you my book if you need it, giving. Can I borrow your headphones? Taking. She lent me her charger yesterday. giving. So borrow is taking, lend is giving. Okay? So remember who has the item at the start, okay? I can lend you my book if you need it, giving. I borrowed a book from the library, taking. Can I borrow your headphones, taking. She lent me her charger yesterday, giving. Okay? Any questions, guys, based on borrow and lend? And any questions based on go and come? And any other questions I want to hear? Okay. Let's see here. Alright, so I will move on to the, I think this is the last pair, guys, before, yes, this is the last pair before I wrap up and give you a quick FAQ question time. But I have some FAQs that I think are relevant, but you can ask your own. So the last pair, guys, the last pair is hear and listen, okay? Hear and listen, all right? Passive versus active perception. So here is passive. It just happens without effort. Like I hear music from next door, but listen is active. You're paying attention, like listen to this new song. If you're focused and trying to catch the sounds, use listen. If it's just there, use hear. So here we go. Here are some examples. I heard thunder last night, meaning it just happened. Listen to the sound of the waves. It's active focus. Did you hear the alarm go off? No effort, just happens. Listen carefully. These directions are important. You're paying attention. So here is passive. Listen is active. If you're turning in, go with listen. Okay? Sorry, not turning in, tuning in. If you're tuning in, go with listen. Okay? Does anyone have any questions based on that? Okay, hear and listen. And then we have borrow and lend, go and come, say and tell, and do and make. Okay? So any questions based on that? Say and tell. Oh yes, say and tell. Did you have a question about that? Say for a general statement. Tell when you're speaking to someone specific. I want to tell you something, right? I want to say something. It's like I want to tell you something. All right? Or yeah, so he told me a joke, she told me. Okay. Or can I say something right now, right? All right, guys, let's do a concluding thing here. So, we got the scoop, do and make, say and tell, take and bring, go and come, borrow and lend. Wait, did I give you take and bring? Did I do that one with you guys? I did not, huh? I gotta give you an extra one. That's my fault. Let me see. Oh, I got one more for you guys. Hold on. I'll pop it in the video here. I will get to that one right now. Take and bring. Don't know how I missed that one in my notes. Here we go. So let's hold on, guys. I will go to my notes and give you that information. Take and bring. I did miss something, guys. Take and bring. That is also another confusing pair that people get wrong. So let's talk a little bit about that. Okay? Do you guys know the difference between take and bring? Do you guys happen to know the differences between them? Give me an example, see if you can get it right, of when you would use take or bring. say and tell, take and bring. Okay, let me look at my notes again because again, you guys are gonna look at this. There we go. So take and bring. Let me look at you guys. If you guys said anything, I'm gonna take your knife. Sure, yeah. Give. Take, bring, give. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take away. I'm gonna take your knife away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this one's about direction. Take is moving things away from where you are now. Like I'll take my lunch to work, or on the other hand, bring is for moving things towards you or where you are. Like can you bring me coffee? Think of take as moving away from you and bring as coming towards you. So in your example, I'm gonna take your knife away. That's fine. So please take your backpack with you. Moving away. Could you bring your camera to the party? Moving towards the speaker. I'll take my coat to the dry cleaner. Moving away. Can you bring some snacks when you come? Moving towards. So take equals away and bring equals towards. Think about where things are going and you've got it, okay? I will take the trash out. Yes, 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 yes. Exactly, Moon. Very good, very good. Okay? So I want to wrap up here. So with a little practice, guys, if you go through those pairs, you'll be good. So practice using them. Use those pairs and don't make mistakes. Do your best. Actually, making mistakes is the best thing you can do because you learn from them. So make sure that you guys practice these, okay? And let me know how it goes. You know, tag me in the form. Will we tell a lie? Well, tell and take are completely different. But sure, you can say tell, yeah. Yes, but if you're referring to another pair, like tell and say, I guess. Or, oh, sorry, say and tell, sorry. We tell a lie to someone. Yeah. Yeah, we tell a lie, yeah. Sorry. I'm not even looking at my own notes. Yes, tell a lie. We tell a lie is correct, yes. Okay, now let's talk about some FAQs, guys, alright? Now, I'm going to do something for you guys. I'm going to... Oh, let me move my little camera. Because the way I have it formatted again. I'm going to actually show this to you guys. Let me share my screen. Actually, I don't need to share my screen. It's just the questions. Guys, really, these are just common questions I always get asked, I always see, I always notice. So how can I improve my speaking skills? And I think I've said it enough, right? Like, you just need to do it every day. If it's just about talking about what you're doing, look for a language partner, join a group, and don't stress when you make mistakes. Focus on getting your ideas across. Recording yourself is another great way. So that's the short, simple answer to that question. What are the best ways to expand my vocabulary? Grow your vocabulary, make your reading a habit. Pick up books, articles, even short posts online. When you learn new words or find new words, write them down and try using them in sentences. Flashcards can help. Apps like Anki can help. Easy to read, learning words, phrases can help you remember how they're used naturally. How can I improve my pronunciation? Basically, it just takes practice, but it's doable. You listen, you mimic, you copy, use apps, watch YouTube, listen to the way you sound, record yourself, compare your speech to native speakers. I'm sorry I'm kind of going fast with the FAQs. It's just the fact that I've seen those questions asked a lot. So the next two questions I'm highlighting today are the following. It's how can I understand natives? How can I get better at understanding native speakers? So it takes time. Start with podcast. are videos made for learners. Like, don't go straight into like, philosophical language lectures. You want to be able to understand the small stuff first. Watch shows with subtitles and try without them. Another example is to watch cartoons. Believe it or not, watch Peppa Pig and you'll learn English better. Actually, don't watch Peppa Pig. I despise the character. The character is so rude. The character is so rude. Always calling her dad fat and making fun of him. I wouldn't be surprised in real life if she didn't get a whooping. Anyways, watch shows with subtitles. Shadowing and repeating can help you catch their rhythm and speed. So what's the best way to practice English daily? When you're busy reading an article, practicing vocab on a break. Consistency is the key. Small efforts add up. You're never too busy. We make a speech. We make a speech? What? We give a speech. I'm creating a speech right now, or I'm making a speech, right? But if it depends on the contents, I'm gonna give a speech tonight. If you said I have to, lecture and teach are really the same. Lecture, well, I mean, honestly, I might have to look those pairs up, but to me they sound lecture is more like a lesson. I don't know. That's a good pair. I wouldn't know how to explain those. So so basically they're very similar, but they're not necessarily confusing, right? Teach is a broad term. It's in the process of helping someone, right? And lecture specifically refers to a type of teaching, a lecture on something. My dad's lecturing me about behaving in school more. My mom taught me how to tie my shoe, right? So it's not really. I wouldn't know. I'm not going to go into more details and more pairs, guys. But you can look it up, guys. Anyways, this, I'm going to go ahead and hit in on the recording now. So today, guys, we're going to learn about a few tricks to sound more natural when you speak English, okay? So you're going to learn these tricks to sound more natural when you're speaking English. It's not just about grammar. It's about the way that you're clear, concise, etc. So, all right, let me get rid of that part. So, anyways, so you'll be learning a few of these with a couple bonus things happening as well. So, pay attention, guys. Here are your tricks here. So, we're going to focus on using your voice, intonation, stress, pausing, and much more. These are things native speakers do naturally without thinking. And a lot of times you guys go, but teacher, how do I do this? It has to happen naturally. So hopefully by the end of this lesson, you'll have the tools to make your English sound more expressive and interesting. So think of this as secret ingredients to sounding like a native. Let's jump on in, guys. So our first secret, guys, is what is intonation? So what is intonation? All right. Let's talk about that for a second. What is intonation? Can anyone explain? Intonation. What is intonation? Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice when you speak. So it helps you show feelings. Imagine saying, I can't believe it, in a happy way. Your voice goes up at the end because you're excited, right? Now say, I can't believe it, in a sad way. Go, oh, I can't believe it. Do you hear the difference? I can't believe it. Can't believe it. Notice how your voice goes down. So in English, we often raise our voice for questions and lower it for statements. So if I say, you're coming, with a raised tone, it sounds like a question. If I say you're coming with a flat tone, it's a statement like I didn't know that. Like, oh, you're coming? Alright, so if you're happy, then angry, see the feeling change in your voice. So you can take one statement, guys, one statement, and it can mean something completely different. The statement can be the same, yet it can be something completely different depending on the tone. And guys, I want to see questions, so if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Okay? It's a very short class, so note-taking is essential. But again, I will upload this lecture at the end of the class. So questions about what I'm talking about will be ideal. Hello, Arjun. Good morning. So, all right, next slide here. So let's practice intonation together, okay? Let's practice, all right? So I'm gonna, now, you guys can't see my notes, but let's see if you guys can guess the emotion. So I'll say a sentence, and then you're going to guess the emotion. And then you'll say it together. Even though I don't hear you, it's good that you're practicing. This is how you get better with English. No, you can't. I'm not showing any slides. These are my notes. But the lesson will be uploaded after, okay? Yeah, so, yeah. So, here we go, guys. Really? 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 What emotion am I displaying, guys? Really? 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 And now you can kind of see my voice. Like, you can see my facial expression. But if you're closing your eyes, would it be like I'm excited? Would it be I'm disappointed? Would it be that what? If you guys cannot get the emotion, then this is probably not the correct. Yeah, excited. Good job, Space. Yeah, excited. All right. How about this? Really? Really? Good morning, Khan. No, Fuda, not surprised. No. You say, oh, we're going to go to a museum today. I go, really? So that might be bored, right? Bored. No, not boring. Oh, God. I have an EDING video. Look at that. So, guys, I am reading off notes, so there really isn't anything to look at. So it's really, I thought you guys would enjoy that. It came with the apartment. All right, so let's get into it. Mastering unique English idioms to spice up your conversation. So we're going to talk about the hidden gems of English no one teaches you. We're diving into idioms once again. I've done these before, but I think I've focused on ones that we already know. I'm going to try to pick ones that I feel are useful. Like, not useful, but maybe ones that you've never heard of, all right? So idioms aren't just like fun phrases. They carry culture meanings. They make your speech more engaging. I'm going to say, in my opinion, do not overuse them or you're just going to sound bored. They're not to be used all the time. Idioms are not conversation. They're used every once in a while, or as they would say, once in a blue moon. Hopefully by the end of when I finish, you're going to have an idea of some unique stuff, right? So let's understand the power of idioms. So let's understand them, okay? Let's understand the power of idioms, all right? Now, this is something I would suggest to write down, okay? I would suggest that you write this down. So what are idioms, okay? Idioms are phrases whose meanings aren't directly derived from words themselves. They're often rooted in culture nuances and can add flair to your speech. Think of idioms as a way to spice up the conversation and make it more interesting. Okay? Make it a little more interesting for the person that you're talking with or talking to. Okay? Definitely. My opinion, you don't need to use them all the time, right? You don't need to use them like, oh, it's raining cats and dogs. Oh my god. You know? Whatever, you know? Like, you just don't do it. It's boring. So now there are reasons why they matter, and there are there's uniques. Some like I said, they say they're unique, but they're not. From the notes I gathered, they go, "Oh, these are unique," but honestly, in my opinion, they're not. Maybe you're unique because you don't say them as often. So, why they can matter? They can convey a complex idea in a compact way. They can create connections with native speakers through shared understanding. They showcase your knowledge and proficiency and culture knowledge. So, for example, bite the bullet. But I think everyone knows what bite the bullet means. It means to face a difficult situation bravely. Okay? So, yeah. Kick the bucket means it's a light-hearted way to say someone has died. Burning the midnight oil is staying up late to work or study. So those are some unique ones you can use. But I'm going to kind of go into more into an explanational thing about idioms, right? So how do we incorporate idioms into conversation? How do we incorporate them? Okay? And I'm going to check the chat sparingly, to see if you guys are asking questions. So please ask your questions. Let me know what you would like to know in regard to the topic today, and I'm happy to oblige and try to answer them. So, how do we incorporate idioms into conversation? So, it requires a finesse to use idioms naturally in context, so they don't feel forced. The goal is to enhance in your communication, not confuse your audience. So idioms should fit seamlessly into your conversation. Misusing an idiom can lead to misunderstandings. Practice will help you feel more comfortable with them. So here are some tips, guys. Listen to the way native speakers use them and take note when they use them. Practice using them in a safe setting, like with friends or language partners. And don't overdo it, okay? Don't overdo it. A few well-placed idioms are more effective than stuffing them into every sentence. So with practice, you'll find the rhythm and you'll become confident using them, okay? Any questions in regards to what I just said, guys? Any questions? So how we use them effectively, why the context matters, and tips for using them. Any questions? Let me know. Okay, no problemo. All right, so let's talk about their cultural context. Okay. Let me go back to the stage and then look at my notes again. All right, so the culture significance. Understanding the culture backdrop of an idiom is just as important as knowing their meaning. Many idioms reflect historical events, social norms, or cultural quirks, enhancing your conversational depth. So why cultural context matters? So it helps you use them appropriately. So you're using the idiom the correct way, right? You're using them the correct way. It opens up discussion about culture and history. It can make your conversations more engaging. So here are some examples with a culture background. So I honestly didn't know this when I was researching. So stealing someone's thunder. Have you guys heard that? Stealing someone's thunder. Who can tell me what that means? What? And it doesn't literally mean. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad I found one you guys haven't heard of. It's one that you might hear in like what do you call it? Pop culture or something. But yeah, if you steal someone's thunder, well, it originates from a playwright who lost credit for his ideas. So to steal someone's thunder is like to steal their idea. Like if you have a head lead or something, and you come up with a great idea, and that lead in your team goes and tells your boss that idea. I'm sorry, I don't have time to write everything, but you can take notes, Luca. Steal someone's thunder. Also, Luca, I'm recording this class as well, so I will upload it and you'll see everything. It's kind of more like a lecture class. I'm sorry, I don't have a proper lecture presentation for you guys. I will have something for that on Wednesday, so I will do something Wednesday. You guys will have a proper PPT to look at. Anyways, so to steal, so that basically, guys, as I was saying, to steal someone's thunder means to, as it said, it originates from a playwright who lost credit for his ideas. So basically, it means to steal one's idea, to steal someone's idea. Okay. Caught between a rock and a hard place refers to being stuck in a difficult situation with no good options. So caught between a rock and a hard place. It's kind of like an oxymoron because a rock and a hard place is almost like the same thing, right? Anyway, so caught between a rock and a hard place means that you're facing a difficult situation. Okay? The ball is in your court. A lot of these, I think, those two, you think you've heard. I think you've heard this one. The ball is in your court. The ball is in your court. So it is a tennis metaphor indicating that it's your turn to take action. So again, there's a meaning behind that idiom. You know, so it's a metaphor in tennis indicating it's your turn to take action. Ball's in your court. You have the ball. Your choice. Understanding the roots of these idioms can lead to a richer conversation. So these idioms and similar idioms. Okay? Any questions on what I just went through? So the culture significance, why the context matters, and why the culture context matters. The examples I gave, are there any questions that I can address? Nada? It's the culture. It's probably the culture background. There are idioms that are heard in the UK, in the UK, or idioms that are heard in the States. So not really a significant difference, just different. Like for example, kick the bucket is one that is used in the UK, I believe, not in the States. All right, gonna move on. So let's talk about avoiding pitfalls with idioms. I can't speak, guys. Sorry. Avoiding pitfalls. So avoiding common pitfalls with idioms. Okay. So be cautious, guys. Okay. Well, idioms can enhance your language. They can also confuse if used incorrectly. So be aware of common pitfalls, such as using idioms that don't fit a situation or you don't fully understand it. So why does awareness matter? Okay, well, awareness matters because it prevents miscommunication. It helps maintain clarity in your conversations. It builds trust with your conversation partners. All right. Here are some phrases to avoid when unsure. Okay. So if you ever said, um, throwing in the towel, all right, throwing in the towel is only in the context relating to giving up. Okay. So you're only going to use that idiom, throwing in the towel, if you're giving up. I'm throwing in the towel, guys. I'm going home. Giving up, going home. Throwing in the towel. Only in the context relating to giving up. If you use it in other contexts, it won't make sense. Hitting the nail on the head. Okay? Hitting the nail on the head. All right? So that is only used when something is done perfectly. Not near perfect, not kind of perfect, but basically perfectly. You're hitting the nail on the head. Because when you hit the nail, when you hit the hammer with the nail, it's perfect. So use only when something is done perfectly. Okay? If you're using this idiom, letting the cat out of the bag, it's only when revealing secrets. Only when revealing secrets. Okay? Any questions regarding avoiding common pitfalls with idioms? Any questions regarding that? About being cautious? So why conversational English is a game changer? All right? This is why conversational English is a game changer. We're diving deep and mastering everyday English conversations, not the textbook, not the the robotic versions that you learn in school that they just like copy and paste and translations that make no sense. So this is not your typical like Chinese English textbook, if that makes sense. Yeah, under pressure, I feel the same way. I feel a lot of stress under pressure. So that can be a game changer, right? So we're going to talk and we're going to go beyond the grammar and vocab. It's about understanding how to use the language in real situations. Make English flow naturally without the constant fear of messing up. So let's get into it, guys. So, small talk, the hidden superpower of fluent speakers. So, let's be real. A lot of people think is pointless or awkward, but that's far from the truth. Small talk is actually a superpower in English, or it can be a very useful tool, right? So it's the quick chats about the weather, plans of the weekend, what someone's having for lunch, that break the ice or pave the way for deeper, more meaningful conversations. So think of small talk like a warm-up act before a concert. Have you ever gone to a concert and you saw something kind of like that, Hijam? Yeah, kind of. So think of it like a warm-up act. Like you go to see a concert, you get a warm-up concert. You go to see a comedian, you see a comedian before the actual comedian. If that makes sense, right? So when you master small talk, you'll feel more comfortable in any social setting because you're engaging them in a light, friendly way. Okay? And guys, ask questions, ask clarification, so I can kind of go on in that matter. Okay? So why does small talk matter? So, well, it shows people yet that you're approachable and interesting. It helps build relationships without making anyone feel uncomfortable. It's everywhere, in stores, elevators, at work, down the street. If you know how to do it, you'll never feel awkward again. So like, to be practical, if you know like there's a season of soccer or football, or whatever. Oh, did you catch the game last night? Or about the weather? Oh my gosh, the weather's been crazy. You got any fun plans? Now, obviously, it's maybe with people that you know. It's gonna be depends on whether or not you have that vibe with a stranger. But these are safe. They're simple. You can relate to them, and you'll realize small talk isn't something to avoid. It's something to embrace. Any questions, guys? You guys are here. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. All right, I'm gonna go through these kind of quickly, guys. All right, so open-ended question: unlock the power of real conversation. So when you ask a yes or no question, the conversation ends pretty quickly. But to avoid those awkward silences, you need to start asking open-ended questions. These are questions that invite longer, more detailed answers, giving you a chance to really engage with the other person. So, for example, did you like the movie? Instead of just saying yes or no, I mean that's like gonna be boring and just awkward. You can say, okay, sorry, let me reiterate, guys. If you're asking the question, did you like the movie? So you're asking the question, did you like the movie? That's leading to a simple yes or no answer. So if you're asking something, if you know they saw the movie, what did you think about this movie? Right? Then you're getting them to give more information other than a yes or no. Right? So to get more of a yes or no, you need to ask more of a question than just a yes or no question. Did you like the movie? You're going to receive a yes or no. But did you say, did you happen to catch this movie? What did you think of it? And either they're going to say, no, I didn't see the movie yet, but I want to, or I'm not going to. Or they're going to say, yes, I saw the movie, and it was however they felt about it. Okay? So it opens the doors for more conversation, guys. It will help lead to much more interesting conversation. Right. It depends who you're talking to. Yeah, well, I mean, like, it could be, well, you can lead it in within that first question. Like, oh, did you happen to catch this movie? What did you like about it? Implying that maybe they've seen it. So you're going for the gold, hoping they saw the movie. You're going to get one of two answers. You're going to get, no, I didn't catch the movie, so I don't know. Or, yes, I saw the movie and I thought the movie was blah. Yeah. You can, I mean, when you go into more details, well, again, we're not in elementary school, so I already explained if they didn't watch the movie, then they're going to respond in a negative. They're going to give you a negative response. Not in a bad way negative, just a negative answer. No, I didn't watch the movie. You can put two questions into one to not make it an open and shut case. I don't know what you mean. You gotta get more, you gotta elaborate, Kevin. But I'm gonna move on though. Elaborate and I'll get to your question. Okay, so I'm gonna explain why these open questions work, okay? This is how the open questions work. And I'll come to your question, Kevin. So, they encourage the other person to share more. And guys, it's the idea of open-ended questions. If you guys know what an open-ended question, you guys know what an open-ended question is, right? It's a question that does not involve, it's a question that does not involve a yes or no answer. If you ask them, do you like apples? You're gonna get a yes or no answer. But if you ask an open-ended question, oh, what's your favorite way to cook an apple or eat an apple, whatever. Going back to some questions from Kevin and Yuma. Okay, so Yuma says how to practice a small talk. I mean, what to practice in it. Anything, Yuma. Just everyday conversations. Yes, Hitchman, yes. That's what an open question is. They aren't answered by a yes or no. I am stressed when I don't know how to say in English. How can I deal with that? Kevin, that comes down to just practicing to yourself, talking into the mirror, speaking two parts. One, talk like this, and then two, talk like you kind of talk in a different voice. High pitch, low pitch, whatever. Give two voices. Have a conversation with yourself. Okay, and there you go. Talk to a mirror. Record yourself. Talk to your friends. Practice with your parents. All right. For example, instead of saying "How was your weekend?" you say, "Oh, how do you?" Or if you're getting to know people, right? How do you usually spend your weekends? What's your favorite part about working here? What do you think? Why do you think that's important? The more you practice asking these types of questions, the more dynamic it's gonna be. So they help discover things you wouldn't have learned otherwise. They make the conversation flow more naturally. Think about it, speaking in your native tongue, guys. You don't say, "Do you like this movie? Yes or no?" Not really. You're gonna, well, what do you like about it, right? What dish should I get for dinner? Do you like it? Yes, I like it, but what do you like about it? Sorry, guys. Handling misunderstandings like a pro. So if you're ever misunderstanding something, okay, if there's ever a misunderstanding, then what if the next person's not interested in asking to, well, yeah, then you go away. If they're not engaged, take a hint. don't keep probing questions if the guy looks uninterested. Basically, if they're quiet or not responding, that means to just go away. I hate to be blunt, but that's what it means. Okay? Let me go on to this next part, guys. I'm going through this quicker than I didn't think I could. All right, misunderstandings. We've all been there. Someone says something, you have no idea what they just said. It happens. The most important thing is how you handle the situation. Don't freeze or panic. Just clarify. Native speakers do it all the time. Don't feel embarrassed. Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't catch what you said. Could you say that again? Any variation that you want to come up with, it's up to you. There's no wrong way. If you just nod your head and act like you understand, then you're gonna screw yourself over. You're just gonna go, and then you're gonna be left for. Alec, there is a event calendar at the very top of the Discord. Someone can screenshot that for you. But if you look at the very top of the servers, there's something that should say like events or something like that, right? You'll see a server guide, and you'll see 22 events, channels and roles, server shop, etc. So you'll see those, and then you'll see who's hosting. So that can answer your question. And also scroll up, I can kind of give an FAQ there as well. Let me move on. So the real power move is not pretending that you understand. It means if you try to fake it, you might miss important information. You're at an English company. Your English is not top notch. Your boss says, I need you to do A, B, C, D, and E. If you nod your head and say yes, and then you don't do it, your boss is going to be pissed at you because you nodded your head and you said yes. And you go, but I didn't understand. The boss says, well, you didn't ask me more information. You didn't tell me you didn't understand. Therefore, you're screwed. Sorry, that's just a blunt answer. If you nod your head and you understand what a boss is telling you, and then you act dumb and you don't do the job, you're gonna lose your job. Why is handling misunderstanding is key? It prevents confusion or mistakes. It makes you seem honest and confident. It keeps conversation on track without feeling awkward. You can say, oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you say it again? I'm not sure I understand. Can you explain it a bit more? Can you speak a little slower, please? Being open about being confused shows that you're engaged and serious about what they're talking to you about. Okay? Any questions thus far, guys? So with that said, I go, oh, okay, I assume they all understand. Alright? So, alright, I'm going to move on to the next one, guys. And it's a bit of a faster lecture, guys. I'm sorry I can't go that much longer. But I'm going to take questions in the chat. So if you got questions in the chat, please go for it, you know. Do it. And I will upload this lesson on YouTube after it's over. Using fillers to sound more natural without overdoing it. So, like, words like, you know, or, well, you might think fillers are a bad thing, but the truth is native speakers use them all the time. So native speakers abuse the hell out of them. And when used correctly, fillers can make you sound more natural, and they can give you a second to think before responding. So the key here is balance, right? Key is balance. So know when to say like whatever it is you're trying to say. Know when to use your fillers. They make you sound more natural, relaxed, conversational. They give you time to think without silence. They help you avoid sounding robotic. Like, well, I think that, you know, I'm not sure, but let me think for a second. That gives you time to say what you want to say. Use them wisely. Keep your conversation smooth and natural. Don't abuse the fillers, or you're just gonna sound ridiculous. Okay? We're almost at the concluding part. I did not think I'd rush through this that quickly. But I only wanted to go about 30 minutes, so. Especially for the replay of the video. I don't know how much of this you guys will end up watching. So, any questions, guys, thus far? Any questions? It's not really expressions, it's just the way that it begins. And a hitch, it's not just about small talk. That's one portion of what I'm talking about. It's just really about conversations. If you're just having small talk, you just have to be natural. You have to know, you have to read the room. And I've already explained the small talk in the first slide. But I will make notes, and maybe I'll do a full small talk class or something like that. There you go, see, watch a comedic act. I don't know. It depends. How are you funny, Kevin? How can I make my conversation funny? I don't know. Become a comedian. Read the room. Ask ChatGPT to write you a stand-up routine. Give me a second, guys. Hold on. Are you guys still there? Just want to make sure. Any other questions, guys, before I move on? When am I coming back? I'm here still. I have a big lesson on Wednesday. All right, just making sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, no one can be a comedian overnight. You know, no one can be a comedian overnight. So that's kind of like, I don't know why people want to be funny when they're not, when they can't really be funny. You know. So, I mean, here, I'll humor you, okay? So I literally just asked Chat GPT to help me be funny, and let's see how funny Chat GPT is. So I've been teaching ESL for a while, and let me tell you, teaching English to adults is like adopting a bunch of toddlers who know how to drink and argue. You ever try explaining the difference between alive and live? Good luck. I'm like, no, I live in an apartment. Doesn't mean I'm alive in an apartment. It just means you survive there. Barely. Grammar rules. My students love that part. Because nothing says welcome to English like explaining why the past tense of teach is taught, but reach doesn't become wrought. My students look at me like we made this language up. Oh yeah, in my free time between making the IKEA instructions and tax forms. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. Anyways, I want to finish up the lesson though. Okay? I'm gonna finish up the lesson. So, I'm doing it again. Thank you for telling me that, Kevin. I'm glad to be helpful. Alright, so last one, guys. Putting everything together. So, didn't realize I was at the last part of my, slide. So let's put it all together, guys. Put it all together. Alright? Putting it all together for real world success. Improving your conversation English isn't about memorizing complicated grammar rules or forcing yourself to speak perfectly. It's about embracing real, everyday conversation skills that help you connect with others naturally. Focus on mastering small talk, asking open-ended questions, listen actively, handling misunderstandings. These tips will not only let you become more fluent, but you'll also start to enjoy speaking English in your daily life. Take these tips and these techniques in your other next conversations and watch how well you guys will be confident, right? Yes, practice makes perfect. All right, so I'm gonna start a little bit early, guys, because I see a lot of you guys here and I'm really excited to see everyone. So my name is Teacher Grant. I am from the States. I'm from the good old state of California. I have been teaching for over 15 years. I am a teacher, not a speaker, okay? There are a lot of people who teach English that are speakers, which is fine, but I am a teacher, not a speaker, if that makes sense. I've been in the Discord here for a few years. I've done classes here and there. I don't often do them at this time at night for my side, but I'm really happy to see everyone. There are a lot of resources, guys, that can help you in the Discord. Really quickly before I get into it, I do have a YouTube channel. I do have a way if you want those exclusive VIP classes, but we are going to start now. It is, I have my own notes. This is really a class for you guys. So, what I'm looking at is my own notes, so there really isn't something that you need to see. I'm just going to ask you the questions, and then you guys will have an opportunity to come up on stage and answer. So, really quickly, guys, there are a lot of channels that you guys can go to. I'm going to take a look at some of the things you're asking me too. Hello. Start. Aline, what's up? Going on? Good. Jenkins, before I say hi, they turn their faces away. I don't understand. My country, it's namaste. Anyways, so I'm looking at all chats. I'm looking at all chats. Let me go back down, guys. Let's see here. No. I'm not on you. I'm not streaming on YouTube. No. I will upload this class after the class. I will upload this video on YouTube later. I'm recording the class. Thank you. I'm recording the class, and you guys can review the class after this is over. So everything's going to be focused in the Discord. Okay? Just wanted to get that straight. So the channel I gave you, right? There's a playlist of lots of English videos, all that stuff. But I want to get into what the main English. Really quickly, guys, a little bit of history. I taught English in China for 8 years before I moved back to the States for 2 years. And then I'm now currently in Vietnam. So I was in China from July 2014 till April 2022. So I was in China for a good 8 years, but I don't speak Chinese, unfortunately. Let me see, guys. Welcome, AI. Yeah, I am AI. This is AI. How did you know I'm AI? Is this real, or is AI taking over us? Yes, it's AI. This is actually AI. I am AI. 100% AI. How did you know? I am not AI. I am a real human.
What I do to make a living.
Okay, you mean you're talking about internet, right?
Yeah, and also if I can add one more, like
Sure. And so basically, like I guess you would just basically say your laptop, really. I mean, because you do everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. All right, hang tight. I'll get another answer here. What about Bailey? All right. So, hey Bailey, how's it going?
Hey, Teacher Grant. I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm great. Good to hear you again. So, can you go ahead and tell me what you feel is what piece of technology could you not live without?
I would say definitely my tablet, because while I feel like phones are important, I don't tend to talk to a lot of people on a regular basis, and so the people that are important to me,
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to them using an app on my tablet.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a tablet is really good because it is a cross between a computer and a phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's still somewhat lightweight, but because my tablet is somewhat big, I'm able to draw on it, play games, and a lot of those games are also available on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that it has a long battery life, because I usually fall asleep to mystery shows, and I just turn off the screen and I listen to my shows for part of the night, and it helps me sleep. And then the phone is more disruptive in my opinion, because it's more for doom scrolling and social media, and the tablet I can at least be more productive on it by visiting websites and doing things that I actually care about, which is, I feel like it's a huge upside when it comes to computers. And then it's harder to be productive on a small phone, especially if you just whip it out at any time and you're not really sure what you're looking for. So it would be a tablet for me.
Okay, interesting. Thank you for sharing that. I'm trying to bring up BZK. So I'm bringing up BZK. Otherwise, we'll go on to the next question after BZ answers. So BZ, tell us a piece of technology that you could not live without. BZ going once. BZ, are you there? BZ, are you there? BZ going twice. BZ going 3 times. Okay, so I want to just remove you from the. Oh, yeah, move the audience. Got it. All right, BZ, we cannot hear you. I'm sorry. We'll go on to the second question now. Okay. So sorry. Okay, we'll go to Alpha then. Alpaca. We'll go to Alpaca. Yeah, I had to remove BZ. Alpaca, are you there? I love your icon, by the way. That's awesome. Alpaca going once. Hey, Alpaca, how's it going? All right, nice. Nope, no problem. Give us a piece of technology that you could not live without.
So, when you asked the question, I was thinking about what technologies I use on a day-to-day basis, and I'd like to remove them one by one from my mind. So the internet definitely came first in my mind, but then I realized that I may still be able to live without it. My mobiles, my phones, I may be able to live without them.
Okay.
Then I realized that I'm stepping away from civilization in my mind. So if I'm doing that, then would you call a knife as a more tool of technology?
A knife? I mean, in my opinion, I would not consider a knife technology. That's man-made. I mean, that's not really. I mean, that's my 2 cents. Maybe the audience can concur that as well.
I mean, it's a technology, but when we say technology, we're talking about like newer modern technology.
Yeah, but I mean, a knife can be made from nature in a matter of speaking, right? That's kind of where I look at it. Anyways, I have a second question for go ahead, Alpaca, go ahead.
So maybe I would just say that I probably will not be able to live without electricity.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Lori, why are you sending me like a dozen messages? I don't know why. All right, let me go on to the second question. The 3 of you who are on stage may stay up. The stage is still open. I'll go to the second question, and whoever's on stage at the moment after I read the question, or raising their hand, I will bring you up. Again, like I said, the 3 of you can stay up and just hang tight. If nobody wants to speak up, you guys get to speak again, so it's really up to them. The second question I have is regarding communication. So technology and communications. I'm gonna kind of give you guys the main question. Well, here's really the topic of the question, really, and then let me go here, and let me go here. Sorry, BZ, I don't know. Contact Discord support maybe, or just check your. Oh, I'm definitely gonna get Sunset up here. Don't worry, Sunset. You got a golden seat. The reason why is you probably gonna outshine all these guys. You can't hear? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Son, you can't hear? Okay. Sorry. All right. So the question here, the next topic here is technology and communication and connection. So here is just the my spiel about it, or from my notes. Again, an exciting way in technology has shaped us through our lives is communication. How fast we can communicate. When I was a kid, I'd write letters to my grandma as a thank you, right? Now it's through email or just a simple message on Facebook. So think about how fast we can connect with people across the world, whether it's through social media, video call, instant messaging. We can share ideas, cultures, experiences with just a click of a button. Okay? And so basically, getting to my point, it helps us understand different perspectives create meaningful relationships, but it also brings challenges like cyberbullying or misinformation. I'm going to give a disclaimer. I don't think it will cause this, but this is not meant to be a quote unquote debate. So I don't want to hear any arguing about this and that. I don't think it's going to happen, knock on wood, because this is not meant as a debate. It's just sharing your personal thoughts. Okay? So, how has technology changed the way you communicate with your friends and family? That is the question. How has technology changed the way you communicate with your friends and family? And I'm going to bring up Sunset. Are you still up on stage, Sunset? Sunset, I do want to bring you up. Because you're a younger generation. I want to hear from you, and I want to also hear from someone in the other generations. So I want to bring Rana up first, so she'll get a chance to give her 2 cents. How has technology changed the way that you communicate with your friends and family? Okay? So that is the second question. How has technology changed the way you communicate with your friends and family? Rana, can you hear us all right?
Hello, teacher Grant.
Hi. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, pretty good. How about you?
I'm awesome. Awesome as always.
So, is it your question restricted to family and friends only?
That's just, well, I mean, however you want to interpret it. Just don't complicate the question, Rana. Don't make it complicated. It's like if I said, what is your favorite fruit? And you said, well, do you mean the tropical fruit or, the erotic fruit? It's just, don't.
I mean, for me, there's no doubt that the technology helped me a lot to communicate and to expand my network. Regarding my family and my friends, I'm not a kind of person who would like to visit others and to waste time on roads or being there for many hours. So I prefer to keep in touch with my friends and my family to check on them every now and then. And also it helped me a lot to build new, to make new friends. For instance, like Discord and Facebook. So I've met a lot of older friends from high school, and also to improve my English. It was beneficial for me to use this communication or let's say platforms to improve my speaking skills. So, however, I'm keen on not wasting my time on chatting many hours, and to be careful about the links and the people who could actually scam me or trap me.
Okay, interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Can someone else? I don't see any new stage people. So would someone else? If there's no one on stage, I don't think there's any mods. Here's a hand. Okay. Oh, Zarathon. Nice. Let's bring you up. Okay. Cool. All right. We'll get another answer here. Hey.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Teacher Grant.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Awesome. Things are great. So what is your 2 cents?
I just looked at the topic and it seems so interesting to me. And actually, I wanted to talk about it.
All right.
Technology and future.
So the particular question, more specifically, is how has technology changed the way? Because I know that there's so much in technology we can talk about, so I'm kind of breaking it down in each section. So I'm sure you can probably talk about a dozen things regarding technology. But this particular question is, how has technology changed the way you personally communicate with your friends and family?
Well, technology for me, to be honest with you, well, I'm from for last many years I've been using technology to communicate with me and my loved to communicate with my loved ones. But for it hasn't changed anything for me on a major level, but for my parents or for the previous generation, like my uncles and my aunties and other people, elderly members of the family, it has made a huge change. A lot of things that they don't know and they're not comfortable with related with technology. They always, they keep asking me questions about how to do this, how to do that. And earlier, they didn't know how to even use Facebook and WhatsApp, simple things. They didn't know that. So I used to help them. I used to make an account for them and used to do a lot of things. But there is this one thing that I'm so worried about related to technology is bank transactions. A lot of fraud and a lot of scam has been happening, and people's passwords get stolen, their cards, their ATM cards get hacked for some reason. I don't know how, but it has been happening a lot in my country. And the elderly people who are not much aware of the technology, they are suffering more with this problem as compared to the younger generation, who has bigger grasp, who has more grasp on technology.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with this. And now, guys in the chat, don't ever take this literally. I'm saying this with a disclaimer. If you don't mind me asking, may I ask how old you are? Zarazon, would you mind if I asked how old you are?
Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm 28 years
old. Okay.
I'm turning 29 this January.
The reason I ask is because I'm 41, so we're pretty much, we got a separation with technology. So I think it's safe to say you were kind of born in technology. So my question, because I could definitely say how much it's changed, because grade 5 was the first time I remember talking to my 5th grade teacher's daughter who was in Australia, or what I think it was. I forget. That's like a vague memory. But that's like my vague memory with technology, how we chat. I mean, to me, it's changed because we don't need a phone to call anybody. We got VoIPs. I mean, technically, Facebook Messenger calling is a VoIP way to call somebody. WhatsApp, Zalo, WeChat, among other country platforms, we are able to communicate with each other. I mean, that's where I've seen a huge jump growing up. You being 28, turning 29, I still think when you're 10, let me think, 10? Yeah, technology was blooming. I'm thinking 10 years ago or 18 years ago. That's the year two. Yeah, I'm surprised you don't feel like technology has changed since you were 10 years old, if you think about it. So when you're 10 years old, you don't see a huge jump of how you were able to communicate with your friends? Because 29...
No, I can...
Go ahead.
I can see the difference in technology just with the change of the models of phone, the mobiles have changed a lot. Earlier, we used to have flip phones.
Okay, there we go. Okay, because I was going to say, technically, I mean, even though you really aren't, you were born in the quote-unquote 90s. You were born in the 90s, but you didn't grow up in the 90s. So you were born in the 90s. So you were when I was a senior in high school, not junior, sophomore, we had dial-up. We get ticked off when someone would pick up the phone because we're downloading that music we're not allowed to download. Anyways, I'm dwelling too much with you. But I wanted to ask. We had 2 other people that came up, but yeah, Andrew, I love your perspective though. I see 2 people that came up recently, which was Alpaca and HMZ. I'll let you guys give your 2 cents, and then I will move on to the next question. So, HMZ. You have the floor. Same question. How has technology changed in the way that you've communicated with your family and friends?
Thank you, teacher. First, hello to everybody who hears us. Um, I think it has changed a lot because uh, back then people used to, like 200 years ago, people used to used to communicate with each other through, um, you know, uh, letters, and basically the letter form was to, to take this letter and ride a horse or and get to another person and hand them the letter, and then the communication was done. But this will take a lot of time, But right now, from the duration aspect, when you see it, it takes a very short time to communicate with someone else that is, for instance, thousands of kilometers away. And this is very good right now because we have a lot of relatives who are living so far from us, and technology, kind of facilitated the way we were communicating. And but we have. I just want to talk about the way it has. It also has negative impacts as well because, for instance, we have social media. I've seen that a lot of people are using social media too much. They're living inside the social media too much, and they are thinking that that's a sort of communication. Of course, communication can be done in any form right now in this era, but we also have to consider this thing that we are a social being. We have to live in a society more than, like something that is in our phone, right? We don't even know the person that we're talking on Facebook, or someone that we don't know. Just we met with on a VC or some messaging through messaging or other by other things. But I think we should not spend too much of our time using social media, but and because we will lose other things like having some time with our parents or our family. That is very precious, and we shouldn't exchange it with something that is trivial from my perspective. But it is good to communicate, to use technology because it's a facility, but we have to bear in our mind that this technology, as much as it grows, it can be so much harmful as well. Because from Afghanistan, in our country, I know that when we are not using social media. Some people are tend to have no like social media even in this country. They have no access to the reliable internet. That's why they are just with their family. They're spending a lot of time. But from the psychological aspect, when you are talking with these people, you tend to get some sort of feeling that they are very healthier than the people who are just spending a lot of time. They are not so much outgoing or affable. I mean, I've seen, and this is my experiment, but I also seen that some people that they're very fine in social communication, and also, with their family and parents. I think, yeah, this was all. This all I wanted to share.
All right. I have a question, and you're a guy. I think you can answer it easily. May I ask, because I'm thinking about different generations and stuff, but would you mind hold on. I'm so sorry, Rana, hold on. HMZ, if you don't mind me asking it you as well, do you mind telling us how old you are? Because I'm thinking about us being in different generations.
I'm 22 years old.
Oh wow! For you to have that insight, I wasn't. You sounded very useful, but you have the mind of someone who's in their 40s, which is a good thing, because you're like thinking that social media is like taking over everything, whereas everyone's used to things being very handed to them. All right, Rana, what did you want to say or add?
Yeah, I was saying that when I was 14 years old, we didn't have smartphones and all these devices. The first thing or communication tool I tried to use was the MSN, Hotmail, and Yahoo, if you remember them. The thing, we were mesmerized by the development of the new tools and the innovation of communication means to contact others. However, it's so annoying because people, they like you to be available all the time, regardless it's okay to check on each other, to be updated of what is going on. But at the same time, it's pressurizing to a great extent, because you have to reply on the exact time, and people, they don't understand that you have other priorities. So it's about the management of your time, and the utilization of these tools to have a productive, let's say, interactions with the world. It's not only with family and friends, even with some colleagues regarding my occupation or knowledge in general.
Thank you for sharing, Rana. Okay, so before I want to make sure I said so Yappa and Tyson will have next question, but I think I need to talk to Alpaca, or did Alpaca? No, Alpaca, you already spoke. I remember your name. So you already talked about the first question or something. I know I talked to you already. Who did I miss though? I think I got to everybody, so I'll go to the next.
Me.
Oh, thank you, BZ. Yeah, it was you, BZ. Yeah, BZ. Thank you. You didn't speak at all, right?
Hello, Mr. Grant. I'm not sure you guys can hear me. I was going to trouble with my phone, so I switched to my computer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You tried to come up and we couldn't hear you. That's right. Okay, so go ahead and give us your 2 cents on the question, and then we'll go to the next question. And because I don't have, it's 10 o'clock on my side, guys. So not trying to like have favoritism, because I'm really bad at this, and I'm not trying to rush you guys with your answers. But if you can keep your answers within like 2 minutes, because we can go for hours on technology. But because I need sleep, I'm hoping we can just what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna just trust you guys to just time yourselves, or I might just cut you off and move on to the next person. So just like try to keep it 2 to 3 minutes. I only have a few slides. I do want to get to as many people as possible. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so no pressure. Just answer how you would, BZ. Just and then yeah. So how has it changed your communication with your friends and family?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, I'm 40 years old. I'm the same age as you, I guess.
40 must hurt, right? If 40 hurts, 41's gonna kill you. Not literally, but.
Actually, I'm okay for 40, honestly.
39 got me. 39 was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm 39. No, I don't want to be 40. No, just stay at 39. I'll be okay. And then I'm 40. All right, sorry, sidetrack. Go ahead, answer. Yeah.
Anyways, I have family abroad. I have family peppered all over the world, and we used to actually like write letters to one another, and because phoning someone when I was younger, it was very complicated. You have to buy a phone card. You have to
Oh my god, I remember that.
Flip phone, so it was a whole hassle. Like some of them wouldn't work or they would expire. So with my family, we used to write letters too, and then I did that. I feel like it would be like an empathetic place where I would think about it deeply. And now with the phone, right? I just know what everyone's doing.
Facebook, right? Oh, were you on MySpace? You're on MySpace, right?
Yeah.
And I guarantee anyone in their 20s.
I think you chat, the MSN chat, ICQ chat, all of those.
ICQ. Oh, I remember that. I didn't use it as much, but yeah.
Yeah, so, but I mean, we went from deep, thoughtful letters to just pictures of someone just drinking some juice or something, like just trivial things. So
okay.
I feel like to me it has changed immensely the way I communicate with my family. Where it used to be in a deeper, more empathetic level, and now it's just kind of mundane things that I don't even have time to miss them because I get so many updates for the day.
Yeah, I think it's.
I wanted to chime in.
I think it's just too much in our head. There's just too much being shown that, I have too many people I'm acquainted with on Facebook, and not like trying to sell myself, but a lot of the people that I connect with on Facebook are mostly parents and clients and stuff. So